think we're recording. Okay. At the risk of sounding tedious. Okay.
Sound however you would.
Mi Maceta. I was listening to our thing.
Mi Maceta.
I listened to that the other day. I was weeping with laughter.
I never looked it up. It's so funny.
Well, you did. It never occurred to you to do that.
Yeah.
But we're talking, and then at hearing you in the background, it was just the funniest goddamn thing ever. And it still makes absolutely no sense. Flower pot doesn't mean...
Well...
I'm sure you got the words right, because they're
emblazoned.
Yeah.
But maybe it's Puerto Rican slang.
Yeah, but I can't riddle out the slang.
Mm-hmm.
It remains hilarious.
Let me ask a Puerto Rican.
Okay. Do you have a Puerto Rican on retainer?
Yeah. Januzak's.
Chris?
He's like one of my friends.
Chris!
Huh. So, but I can text and talk.
I was curious about the spelling of Noel St. Kitts' siblings.
Okay.
Papo. Mm-hmm.
P-A-P-O.
Okay, got that.
Lindo. L-I-N-D-O.
Okay.
Paping.
P-A-P-I-N?
I-N-D.
Damn, I got it right. Okay.
And baby.
Mm-hmm. It's just baby?
Yeah, baby.
Baby had another name, presumably, but it's not even that important.
Only Noel's name is the real name.
So, the other ones are just...
Papo is a slang.
Lindo means
nickname. Lindo
beautiful
means
or something.
pretty.
Right.
Paping, I forget what that means, but that's not his name.
Isn't that funny?
Probably like Big Papa or something.
Uh-huh. Some kind of term of endearment. You liked those guys, didn't you? There was a girl in there. Which was the girl? Which was the sister?
I don't remember her name.
But he had a sister with whom you did not hang out.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was the eldest. She moved out.
And his last name is St. Kitts, like the island?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. The transcription got it right. That was rather extraordinary.
Yeah. His father's name was Marcial, and I can't remember his mother's name, and she was treated me, she fed me and everything.
Right, she was like probably an alternative mom. But you're not in any contact with Noel?
No.
So as far as we know, he's still alive?
Yeah, he was actually in federal prison.
Okay.
The guys told me that he was, because I know he turned very religious, and I sent him a letter from prison.
It didn't happen to you.
Once, and he sent it back, and he's like, my mother asked that you please do not curse so much in the letters.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I guess his mother was reading the letters before.
Clearly. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're behind bars, you take on that whole lifestyle, and then you turn to Jesus, or you become... That happened with Esponzi's cousin. It's sort of sweet, but I don't know how well it holds up when you get sprung.
Years later...
Don't swear so much.
Years later, this guy's talking about these kids from my neighborhood, and he's like... Chachi. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know any fucking Chachi. I lived in that building for a long time.
Yeah, it's a name that would stick with you.
Jaji is what we call it.
Interesting. So they just memory falsify.
Yeah, so I was like, there was no Chachi in my building. And then I said, wait a second, Jaji? Noel? He goes, yeah.
Oh, so Noel had a nickname too.
So apparently this is Noel's story, and I don't believe any stories I hear in there.
Right.
He was tricked into driving down to Florida and coming back in a car with kilos of cocaine. So he went to federal prison.
You think he really had no knowledge of what he was carting around?
No, I never believed that. Not
okay,
like
but
that's not that kind of thing.
Okay. Huh. Well.
Yeah. So he also did federal time.
Wow. And is maybe still doing it to this day.
No, he got out.
Oh, okay.
Well, we could actually look up. You want to look him up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The internet knows all. You have so many people. I'll look up the occasional old boyfriend and stuff or classmate. You've got so many people in your past.
Federal BOP inmate locator. So the feds have a special inmate locator. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to use, and we could find I don't remember his name, the guy from Damien West. Okay, so we're gonna go by name. I've never even looked him up in here.
It's cool that you're not that curious. About a Yenta.
I never even confirmed it.
But you're just going by your instincts, I guess.
No, you know, the stories they were telling me.
Well,
you know.
that's probably couldn't be done anyways. I don't know what it would add to the story, but it might flesh him out a little bit. He interests me a little bit.
Yeah, he got out in 1998.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's him. He's not black, but that's what they put down.
Okay, guys got it wrong.
Huh?
They got it wrong, you think, or
No,
it's got to be, or maybe there's more than one.
no, that's him. That's him. It's the same. That's the same.
Same,
time
same.
period.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, not the most common name, but I'm sure there's more than one in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas you do have the most common name in the world.
Who went to federal prison?
Right.
That's not a very common
That-
name. No.
Yeah, point taken.
Okay, so that was that question.
Interesting. And I looked up your friend Vinny. It's like, yep, there he is. Godfather of hardcore.
Yeah,
I got a kick out of that.
yeah. Yeah, we had I told you the whole story of how I met him, right? How I got him laid on his birthday.
Yeah, it was really
Okay.
nice of you. And he was fondling your shoulder and murmuring. He was fondling the wrong shoulder. Very, very. That was what I was actually writing last night.
He was kissing my shoulder.
It's not my shoulder. He was horrified. In fact, I was horrified.
But him being Italian, he was more horrified.
Yeah, right. I understand.
Big homophobe.
I know, it really made him sound very marginalized. Like probably a great musician, sound like he's a good friend.
Dumb as a brick.
Clearly.
Racist.
Yeah,
dumb as a
because
brick,
the beliefs are just so, yeah. But apparently you do sound fond of him. And you did really right by this complete stranger on his birthday. You have a generous spirit. And, okay, so that was like, thank you about that. Also, we were talking about, remember, do you have any happy memories? And you're like, oh yeah, when I was kidnapped. So when were you kidnapped? Was it your, you got away from the house. Was it your father?
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened there?
So, my dad used to get us on the weekends, once in a while, and he came to pick us up, and he's like, "Hey, you wanna go look at some airplanes?" Yeah, you wanna go to the airport and look at some airplanes? Yeah, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to get on one? How about we get on one and take a ride? You know?
Dang, he had the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, even when we landed in Buffalo, when the runway, and he pointed to a man standing in the window waving at the plane. He goes, "That's your Uncle Bill." That's how, like, you know, few flights and
Yeah, back
you
in the
know,
day.
you could never do that these days.
Wait, that
Yeah.
world does not exist.
Yeah.
But he had to do some prep before that.
Planned it out with his family. Yeah.
He really wanted you to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So his sister kept us, and then my other sister, he grabbed her on the way to school.
So how many of your siblings actually went to Puerto Rico? Or I'm sorry, that's where you wound up, right?
No, Buffalo.
Buffalo with Uncle Bill and
No,
company?
Tonawanda, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we were his three. That's all.
Okay. Are you comfy, sweetie? Do you want to take
I'm
pizza?
fine.
Okay. Okay.
That's all.
That was a very nice thing for him to do.
He didn't want any of the other ones that weren't his.
Give me a point taken. It was nice that he took care of his own. Apparently to no avail, because here you are.
Yeah.
So what happened? So how did your mom track you down?
Oh,
Probably didn't.
She tracked us down, as mothers do.
Yeah.
You know, like 6 months.
So you were gone for 6 months.
Yeah.
And she didn't know where you were, or
No. She eventually found us.
But 6 months is a considerable amount of time.
Yeah. Well, she knew that my father.
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
And he had us hidden, and you know.
Well, you enjoyed that stay
Yeah. Oh yeah. It
Way
was a
to-
totally different life.
upstate.
In a house with food,
Oh yeah, there's
with
that.
Christmas presents.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were nice people, and
Yeah.
were there any other? Did they have kids?
Yeah, all 1, 2, 3, 4.
And they were nice
Four
to you.
very close cousins that I can think of, and probably more. We all, you know.
Everyone
everything
got
was
on
great.
okay?
Yeah.
That kind of breaks my heart. I'm glad you had that experience, but the
Yeah.
fact that it's, of course, it had to come to an end, and the kids always go back to the mom, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they certainly did then.
Yeah, but you know, they did a number on us. Not that, because we didn't realize at that point what my mother was, but they told us what she was.
Where was she?
Fucking nuts.
Oh, you were unaware of this fact?
No, we were too young.
Let me fill you in. You're right.
So
You'll-
by the time we
you only know
got
what you know.
back to her, we were terrified. You know, it was like we were being returned to a witch.
Who was the one who told you that? Your dad?
Everyone.
That was
Dad,
common
my
knowledge.
aunts, my uncles. you know.
If that's all you knew,
Yeah.
because it sounds like she was pretty unstable
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Little exceptions
So
here and there.
they were probably telling us, you know, not in a mean and malevolent
know.
way,
I
but
know.
like, listen, you're not safe there, you know.
I think they were trying to help, and I know. In fact, I have no doubt of that. But
we
it
were
touches
just
my heart
scared.
that you didn't. That's all you knew, so you didn't know she was someone to dodge.
Yeah. She was a dodgy character.
So when you got back, okay, now we have a lot of knowledge, and
When I
we're
got
stuck
back,
here.
Ellen, I swear to God, until my teens, I'm talking about 17, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd wake up and I'd look around. Shit.
Still
it's not
here.
a dream.
Can you fucking imagine?
I really
You
did
lived
that.
it. It's so horrible. And you would have no one to tell that. You might tell it to a sibling, I guess, but you couldn't tell it to your mom because she was the one who's supposed to
Oh,
comfort you,
God,
and she was
no.
the one who was. Why did you do that? Oh my goodness! But so that 6-month period was a
And I don't know if it was 6 months.
Well,
maybe
but it was-
more. It seems like it was more.
a season.
because-
It's certainly a season.
Oh shit!
What happened? Got some info?
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, are you ready?
The
Are you
mystery's
recording?
about to be solved. Yep.
Roughly juicy rifle.
Okay.
That was a juicy rifle I
Yep.
had.
That it was.
For the picking. Juicy rifle for the picking. I.e., that pussy is ripe for the picking.
Okay. So the flower pot is just.
What
It's
the
not,
fuck are you into now? Or should I say who?
So tell her. That's a really great piece of information. You want to put it in there?
Yeah.
That is
Did you
really-
record it?
Yeah.
We just found out.
It's so repulsive. It's so repulsive that he would say that to a little boy.
Hey, that's some people's things. Didn't you know that?
Yeah.
I met one of those guys when I was like 8.
I know. I know. But but it's. Ugh. But he didn't that. He wasn't actually predatory beyond that. You didn't know what he was saying.
Every time he saw me, he looked drunk. I mean, his eyes just glazed over.
Or horny.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Just that look.
I know.
Me, my
Yep.
shit.
Oh! The ultimate dirty old man. Well, thank your friend. That's pretty cool.
I'm telling him, he's like, he has to know what's going on. Yeah. So,
By the way, what is this? What could this possibly mean?
yeah, so we found that out. We
Yay.
finally know.
I know. I really thought it was some. I knew it was some kind of local jargon but I wanted to understand it. Ugh. Now that I'm thoroughly repulsed.
I find it so humorous.
Well, the fact that decades later you tracked down, it's stuck in your head. You knew it was.
I will never forget it. I heard it so many times.
It's a very colorful piece of slang that I would have no problem with if it were guys in the proverbial locker room or girls, But I don't know. And again, you were walking around with an enormous
Well,
dildo.
listen, this guy thought he had, that I was advertising something, and
You were.
He was
what
taking.
it was. Nobody, whatever you were selling, he was more than willing to buy. But you just thought it was a big old joke,
Yeah.
like a whoopee cushion kind of thing.
Yeah.
Adorable. That's amazing. Oh, good. The mystery is semi-solved. Okay. Okay. Remember the guy, Kijai? I think you kept saying his name was. How do you think that was spelled?
Kitjai.
Kitjai.
Kitji.
Uh huh.
Oh,
Oh, cool. Okay, I was close. And tell me about Robin Shea. Said he was formerly of Black Eagle. Robin Shea?
Robin Chi.
Robin Chi.
Yeah.
And he had a gang affiliation after he was in the Black Eagles.
Yeah, so he was a Burmese kid, and he hung out on the Black Eagle side of Canal Street. Mott Street. Canal Street divided Ghost Shadow territory from Eagles territory.
Okay,
There was White Eagle, Black Eagle.
You would know, but you didn't hang out with the Black Eagles.
No, they
Okay.
were
Because you were.
they were almost totally defunct by the time I started hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah. So these guys got into all this stuff, drug dealing, and
Was it like West Side Story where you'd be like, feuding with the other side, or everyone just kind of went about their illicit business without bothering anyone else? I mean, you weren't affiliated specifically, but it sounded like
no. So I was friends with old time Black Eagles, and I hung out and did shit dirt with the Ghost Shadows.
Okay. Ah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're like like almost like a spy, or even a therapist from back in the day. You're trying to infiltrate their minds.
So I used to get high or do burglaries or whatever. Go to dinner, go eat for free. That was the best part of hanging out with them.
You mentioned free food. I remember.
Get to eat for free.
What does that mean? Just because you were in their company,
Yeah.
you could go into a restaurant, and you didn't get charged.
Yeah, because they make sure.
Jeez.
Okay, so these businesses are all paying the business associations.
Yes.
Right?
And that's the highest level of.
Right.
Okay.
These gangs are to make sure these businesses remain safe and no one bothers them. Right?
Yes.
And that means from anyone
So
else
protection.
shaking them down
Mm-hmm.
to fighting in the restaurants to even letting black people on the block. Oh, I swear to God.
Jesus.
If you couldn't come, if you were black, you couldn't come on my street unless you were with a woman or a child.
And there were people around who were protectors who would
Yeah.
tell the person,
Yep.
get off the block,
Yeah.
and that you might
Seen
have
it.
been that person.
I've seen it many times.
And you might have been that person.
Well, I was there, but
You were the one who was actually.
Yeah.
You weren't the enforcer.
yeah, no.
You could have been. That's so nuts.
They just get up and they just walk over to him. What the fuck are you doing here?
Wow, that's really old school. That sounds almost like the Marx. It just sounds like an
Yeah.
earlier era than. Wow.
Yeah. I guess if you think, to LA, to like Crips and Bloods, these guys weren't even there. But that's totally gang related, and this was totally race related.
Race and that whole thing about we live in a world where it's sectioned off by blocks in a grid, and
our
this is
people
a
don't want
territory.
to, yeah.
What about Jews? Could they walk around?
They would know.
They had to because they would no, they would
It
know.
was nothing about Jews. It was just black people.
They weren't anti-Semitic. That's
and,
so
and
nice.
Puerto Ricans, they kept their eyes on them.
Questionable. But as a result, so they had these protectors that people who would keep the restaurants safe from the wrong element, and then you would hang out with them and get a nice steak for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, fellas.
Yeah.
So now what happens when you have to have a steak? You gotta pay for it.
I don't mind at all.
Someone else will pay. Someone else will buy you a steak.
I don't mind at all.
What was Misty's last name? Her
Anna Marie
Militello. But what was
Militello.
her Misty? What was
Misty
her
Slain.
Slain?
Why?
Slayn?
E.
What an odd name.
Well, she was very dark,
Mm-hmm.
and she was almost like a female Alice Cooper. So
She had
her
that
stuff was very dark.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that tie in with her stripping? She had two careers, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
And she had three. She was
secretary.
formerly, secretary.
I love that.
This insane typing speed. I mean, she
I said 100 words per minute, but it might have been more than that.
might have been more, yeah.
Right.
And she used to, I remember one of her songs was about rocking a dead baby in a cradle.
I
So they were really dark.
And yet she seemed, as a human being,
Oh, total sweetheart.
yeah. So the dark side was there.
Yeah.
She was able to mind it, but she.
She was such a sweetheart. Yeah.
Interesting.
I ruined all these women.
Nah, they're still here to
Yeah.
tell the tale. Ah, is there anyone you really think that you might have?
Yeah.
Broken hearts is one thing. Mistreated, not advocating, but yeah.
No.
She,
People get over shit.
Yeah, but let's hope.
I remember I met this guy, and I really liked him. We became friends. But he told me, listen, I'm dating Misty, right? And I was like, you're dating Misty? And he's like, yeah, she knows that you hang out here, and she knows I hang out.
And you guys
here.
were already well in the rearview mirror.
No. Yeah, Misty and I were. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And me and this guy hit it off. Redheaded Irish guy from but long hair. He's really nice. Brian McTeague. But when he told me, it was like, you're dating Misty?
Because was he the anti-Brian, or was he like the opposite of you? Because
Total opposite. But
it's very interesting.
I was abusive to Misty. I remember. Yeah.
Abusive physically or abusive because you obviously took advantage of her wallet, and I don't know if that's abusive. I would say it's opportunistic. It's not
Yeah.
ideal behavior.
Yeah, I think I was physically abusive to her.
Well, if you were to run into her on the street now,
What?
would you feel like dodging to the? Would you feel like ducking into a doorway to avoid?
No, I would try and offer her some kind of amends. And if she told me get the fuck out, I'd be like,
I guess that's the nature of an amend. Is
Yeah, I wouldn't-
if they say go away, then
I wouldn't duck in a doorway, no.
Yeah, you're more courageous than that.
Because I was very mean to her, and it came to a point where I expected her to provide me money with drugs.
And she obligingly kept doing that.
Yeah.
I understand that what you did was wrong. I get that part, but I'm always intrigued by why somebody else would have signed on. There had to have been an upside for her.
Yeah, well, they
I mean,
all
you're-
say that. I've been told more than once, you're the best boyfriend I ever had, and you're the worst boyfriend I ever had.
That's so interesting. I think, okay. I would think you'd be an excellent friend.
I've been told, that's what I've been told. Those are words that come out of the mouths.
Well, if more than one person said you're both my best and worst boyfriend, they're never going to forget you.
Well, anyway, so Misty, I
That's
really
all right, okay.
cannot think of any instances, but I know there were them. My mind
No,
is
no,
blocking it.
okay, yeah, if
But
you-
I was all kinds of abusive to her.
Okay.
But I really did love her. But I was a
Well,
drug addict,
yeah.
with the brain.
No, you were staying at the Hotel 17 and
Oh,
not
God.
transporting. That place doesn't still exist, does it? It would be now called Hotel
$17 a night.
Hotel 280, which would be considered a. It sounded familiar to me, but there's no possible way I would ever have known it or been there.
Yeah.
I didn't stay overnight in the city in that manner.
Yeah. It was like the Jane West. Remember the Jane West? No.
Yes. Now it's all
The Jane
posh.
West is like a prison cell.
Right, and the rooms are like
A prison cell.
Yeah,
They're so small.
but you know what they're like now.
No, yeah, it's just luxury now, right?
Yes, they're all posh.
Yeah.
At least it's still standing. Okay, I did get it. Was just curious about the spellings, and then what was the head baker's name? Was Chalk, like chalk on a chalkboard?
Chaulk.
Chalk. Why was they call him that?
That was his name, Mr. Chalk.
That was his last name.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And he's long dead, so you can say.
Right.
He.
You didn't say anything about him that was bad. He sounded
Well,
like.
no, he told me how it goes.
Well, yeah, but it was pro Brian. So
Yeah.
I was.
But it's anti-system.
That's true.
He said, you
You said it was so incestuous that like.
you do not understand how this works. That's what he told me.
And then you said like white power was something, white privilege. I'm sorry, was something you had never thought about. You would
Yeah.
never put yourself in that. You wouldn't seem to. You're white, but everything else.
I never had it when I was a kid.
Yeah, like what fucking privilege is
I
that?
got beat up because I was white.
Wow, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I just thought that, but it found you in that context.
Yeah, it took me a while to understand it.
Yeah, but your white privilege,
Yeah.
such as it is, was
And I was told by another police officer, another corrections officer, me and someone else, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here? These prisons aren't made for you. They're made for those people."
I know that was a very telling detail, and you didn't even think about it. So
Yeah.
you didn't think of yourself as intrinsically better than anybody else.
No,
Okay, I like it.
no.
But the white privilege would be well reserved for the jerk-offs who beat the hell out of you because they were mad at the kid for talking to his girlfriend on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we'll make an example
Oh,
of this
those were
complete
white
stranger.
privilege, yeah.
And so they didn't do any jail time. They were able to get the
Oh,
pricey lawyer.
No, they didn't even have to get a lawyer. They just said to the police
They
that I
did-
tried to rob them.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was the end of the story. Didn't interview me or anything.
You had enough on your plate back then, but
They're gonna press charges if you continue to pursue this. And there's two of them against you, and you're not gonna win.
I can't wrap my mind around that.
So the lawyer told me that.
You must have. You
You have
had
two-
so much reason to be so angry
You
about
have
that.
two white privileged kids from
Yeah,
the Upper East Side,
right.
and one white kid from the fucking ghetto.
It's like, yeah, who is this jury, this non-existent
Yeah.
jury, gonna?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sounds you said it like you acknowledged all that, but you said it like it was on the way to something else, like it wasn't even that big a deal anymore. It's just, such is the way of the world, I guess.
You see the big show they made about the school indictments,
Yeah.
the bribery stuff. We're gonna There's only one school system for all Americans, and there's only one justice system for all Americans. Get the fuck out of here.
Even, but, ugh.
They're like throwing these people to the wolves, right? They're making a big deal about
Right.
it.
But you think that they're no more.
And they're trying to
Is it 'cause
say
they were
everything
celebrities?
is equal here.
Well, no one can pretend that's the case.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to say. That's what the guy stood at the podium and said.
Who was the guy who said that?
The FBI guy. He stood at the news conference and said, there is one school
Everyone is
system for
served.
every American.
Right.